Hello and welcome back to Mo the Therapist. This is your girl Mo, and I'm back with another reading. So, this reading is a spin on our weekly tea that I had been doing, and we're going to try it monthly. I'm aiming for consistency, and what that means to me is that I can consistently, regularly show up for you. But I know for a fact that it's going to start with finding the easiest way to do these readings so they don't feel like a chore. Because even though I enjoy doing them, they begin to feel overwhelming if I'm like constantly on go and there's like no energy exchange, you know what I mean? So, anyways, just trying to find what works for me and what's my flow and whatnot. The cards we're using today are Britt's Third Eye Tarot and the Stranger Things Tarot deck. So starting out, this month is going to be an overall victorious month for you, but I think it's going to be more victorious in the sense that you have worked on some healing. You're pulling yourself out of certain situations where it comes to you minimizing yourself in the name of love or accepting somebody's offer again and again and staying patient and it and having this potential mindset. And it's less about having this potential and more about having the understanding that you don't have to have action all the time. There may be times where you need to slow down and acknowledge the things that are being presented. There is a new love coming in or love coming in, but you need to remain patient. Thank you for being patient with me as I work through the energies. So I was looking at the Six of Spokes in the Stranger Things deck. It is connected to the Six of Cups. So like inner child healing and such kind of message. And it's reversed, so it's more of you are avoiding this. There's something in your healing that you need to take action of, and you're avoiding whatever that is. You also have the Six of Strands in reverse at the bottom of the deck with the Justice card. And so I read that as it's the Six of Wands again, but this time it's reversed. So I'm reading that as this goes very unacknowledged. You feel unimportant. But with this Justice card, there's justice here. There's going to be an internal dialogue at some point that you understand that you're at peace. You are working on nurturing yourself, loving yourself in a way that your parents, your mother, your aunt, uncle, father couldn't. And while you're very protective in your own right, Spirit is warning you to be understanding and hold a little bit more space. In other words, I feel like Spirit feels like you are being too reactive to certain things that have occurred in your life. To have peace, you need to focus more on the here and now and clear out the old things within your soul that have been preventing you from healing and being in your truest nature. You're having a come to the edge moment or a moment of clarity that there needs to be a change in the way things are moving to grow in a way that is beneficial for you moving forward. Otherwise, you're going to be repeating the same cycles, asking yourself why. So, if there's healing that you need in order to obtain that new life that you're wanting, it is now the time for you to do so, or it's not going to be, you're not going to end up living the life you wish to live. You won't get the clarity, the clear communication, the clear action, the clear passion, the clear steps. You won't have your confidence that you're looking to obtain if you don't handle certain things prior. Okay, so now we're going to get into the tea. What is the tea for the cardinal signs? And keep, yeah, I was holding my cat and now I have, I don't know. I keep wanting to say fire signs. If some of you guys could have heavy fire placements in your chart, be dealing with a fire sign. Mm. Somebody's misusing their spiritual gifts and using them for the wrong reasons, using them for quick get rich schemes, especially with tarot and all those things. Um, Becoming more popular. Somebody's vertigo could be off, or you could be somebody that gets dizzy really quickly. Be aware of the offers that come forward to you. Some of them aren't genuine offers. Some of these offers, I'm thinking more of the romantic way. We also have child services here. So some of these offers that you may be receiving may be to target your children, is how I was seeing these cards. That may not be for everybody, but if it feels like it might be right for you, make sure you are taking heed to the message. The numbers 9, 5, and 3 could be significant, as well as 6, 66, and 666. And despite what people think, that number is not demonic. It's about harmony, connection. When you have 6 repeated 3 times, it's about harmony and connection, excuse me, within the community, within the group, within a close knit circle. And when it's just 6 repeated 2 times, it's about the partnership, okay? The harmony of a pair, the harmony within a relationship, the connection within a relationship, which is important because you have love on the brain and into you. So you could be working, you could be dusting off old love patterns, dusting off old love cycles. You could be opening up your heart chakra to new possibilities when it comes to love. You're unblocking it and opening it up. You could be fantasizing or being very nostalgic about the past, but you could also just be dreaming about the day that you have good chemistry. If this is a new relationship, because you did have the Knight of Cups come out, if this is a new relationship blossoming, then you guys are both equally yoked. You guys are both equally into you, but be aware of somebody coming in with a dirty offer. So you could have several love options, but it may be too good to be true with one of them. So be aware of that. Um, because then you have obsessive lover. It did come out in the reverse. So, like I said, just be aware. This could be something that's like using magic, witchcraft, however you want to phrase it, to get you to fall in love with them. So be very careful if you're a stay-at-home mom. This is going to be a person that has this unnecessary control over you and uses certain tactics like scarcity mindset, um, emotional manipulation, and such to get the things that they want out of you. And we have broke ass in reverse. So that also tells me this is somebody that has money, And maybe they don't have money. Maybe they don't have money and it's a front, because then you have thief at the top of the deck. Waste time giving money in reverse. So this is somebody that's very stingy with their money. Okay, let's see if there's any more key messages. See, and wasting time actually came out. So don't waste your time with things that just don't feel right for you. Unfazed. Ain't shit. Impersonator. And drama starter. So played out. Somebody here has recognized this could also be an ex. They want you back and they could be trying their best to get the things, um, the situation to be in their favor, threatening. This could be a person that you once were threatened by, but now you no longer are threatened by. You're unfazed. You know that you've gotten out of a good, like out of a bad situation because you know that they ain't shit, basically, like the cards were saying. This is very much so like you've gotten out of a situation that once presented itself in a certain manner, once was successful, but has put so much weight and distress on you over the years, the days, the months, the weeks. Crystal caverns flow rhythms of life and let the cascading waters of change carry you to new beginnings. We were talking about creating a new life, letting go of the things that no longer serve you. And then you also have jellyfish, embrace adaptability and go with the flow, allowing life's currents to guide you effortlessly. And then sharks, embrace your primal instincts and navigate life's waters with fierce determination. And then bottom of the deck, we have sea creatures. And this is interesting. They remind me of koi fish, but then they kind of look like manatees at the same time, but they're white. Um, so just the white alone symbolizes purity. And then koi fish, I feel like they symbolize tranquility. Give me top trade. So as my laptop's loading up, I am going to read to you Sea Creature. Sea Creature says, find guidance in times of darkness and let your inner light shine bright. And I believe in the original message whenever I get a chance to get that together and get that posted, because this is like my second time for you, and then for the mutable and fixed signs, this is going to be my third time. So it's somebody out here that's just not wanting the message to get across. But I feel like there's a significance here with this koi fish and the fact that it's white. So courage, perseverance, and transformation. And it's talking a lot about change. I'm also getting the energy of like a raven. There's a lot of black in these cards. Oh, and the all white koi fish. I can't even read that. There's two different kinds. That's too small. But it could also symbolize good fortune, abundance, prosperity, strong life force, often associated with achieving goals, navigating adversity, and personal growth. Okay, and then the different colors carry different meanings. So let's just look at white. So white koi fish symbolize purity, success in career or life goals, and new beginnings. So I definitely feel like that's true, especially when it comes to you breaking away from things that you know don't serve you. So I talked about it more in a romantic sense, but how could some of those things also relate to career, since we're talking about these koi fish being directly related to success and career? If you continue doing something a certain way, how can you adjust that? Is it going to bring the light that you want to shine, or is it going to dim the light you're trying to shine? So I hope that makes sense for you for the month of October. I hope to see you back around, and I hope I can get the original message out to you guys at some point, because ooh, it was a good one. It was much more juicy, much more detailed, and I'm quite disappointed. And so I'm going to leave it there because I got distracted. I got a text message, distracted me, gave me a little giggle. So I hope this message finds you well. And I look forward to seeing you back here at Mo, the Therapist. Peace, love, and many blessings. Hello and welcome back to Mo the Therapist. This part of the reading is going to be for the mutable signs. And then if you have any fixed signs placement, that will be the last part. If you had cardinal sign placements in your chart that you want to look at, that will be in the first part. So mutable signs are going to be Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. We have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles. As I keep shuffling, I want to let you know that I had to redo this reading because, well, first, it didn't record yesterday when I did it. And then, second, I couldn't get it to send to my drive the way I did it. So now we are on round 3, trying to get another way I used to do it. And we're just flowing with it. Now, this reading is going to be an extension of what was on Threads. It may equally line up. It may be a little different since it is being recorded on a different day. All right, sorry about that. It is nap time, and if you don't know about me a little bit personally, I do a little in-home childcare, and my kids are resting in their room, but the other kids that nap are actually trying to nap, and they're being too loud. So I had to go correct that behavior. Anyways, so now I'm shuffling from the Stranger Things deck. I already shuffled from the Britt's Third Eye Tarot. Okay, so the energy in your deck, Mutable Signs, you're going to be spending this month working really hard. Probably working really hard more on your communication and the financial stability in your life. Working really hard on creating more networking opportunities. The number 3 could be very significant. Number 3 represents community. You're trying to make sure you're in alignment with the things that you're wanting. Excuse me. You're not just asking the divine for these things and not ensuring that you're on the right path. You are making sure you're ending old cycles, starting new cycles so you can be successful moving forward with the 10 of spokes in the Stranger Things deck. Now, I have to say this time and time again, that is actually connected to the 10 of cups. But when I look at it, all the depictions of the spokes are very airy, and it's built off the energy of the bicycles and Stranger Things. And because of that, I feel it's more connected to swords. And the 10 of Swords is about betrayal, being stabbed in the back, being told one thing and something else being done, or somebody throwing rocks and hiding their hand. That's the 10 of Swords energy. Now it's in the reverse, being the 10 of Spokes, which would also be the 10 of Cups in the reverse since it's technically connected to cups. But I feel in this energy, it's definitely more of a logical, intellectual energy, and it's not so much the emotional connection that the Ten of Cups has. And because of that, I will always read the Stranger Things deck flopped when it comes to those two, okay? So looking at that, that means you are moving away. You're communicating those betrayals that have been seen, brought to light to you. You've worked through the pains and sufferings, and now you're lighting yourself to successfully communicate how it hurt you, but how you healed from it. You're not looking to stay in this energy all of October. You might be just spending the first few weeks of October, working through this energy, and then moving into the later part of October where you're recognizing where there's still healing that needs to be done. You're acknowledging that and you're moving forward. The other cards that clarify this is the Six of Dice and the Three of Scoops. The Three of Scoops is connected to the Three of Pentacles, which is already out. And then the Six of Dice is actually connected to the Swords, which I feel like could be more emotional, but how they have it depicted, though, is that there are going to be a lot of red flags in some of these groups you find yourself in, and you need to be aware of it. You need to acknowledge it. Don't brush it under the rug. There's going to be someone coming in that feels very warm, very right for the situation, almost perfect, almost like a too good to be true kind of thing. But you're being asked to make sure you're slowing down and looking at these things and not rushing too quickly into them. Fools here again. And there's something about this new journey that is going to be very significant. There's somebody coming in with this boss daddy energy. This could be your man. You could be traveling more. Like, there's the wolf in sheep's clothing. This is what I mean by, like, you really need to be careful. And then the legal situation, you really need to be careful out here. There's somebody that is going to be kissing up to you. They actually have a bad habit of doing this, pretending to be one way than they really are, and it's gonna end up preventing you or blocking you from your blessings. That card that tells me that is actually called the cock blocking card. So there's something you need to run from. The fact that it fell on top of the bad habits card, the running card fell on top of the bad habits card, is telling me that this whole situation is played out. You need to get away from it. Do not turn around. Do not dust it back off. This person can be an obsessive lover. They could have enjoyed partying too, and you're now moving away from that energy. You could have been threatened by them at some point. They kept you from shining your light through scarcity mindset, and you finally moved past that. These could also be karmic friends. It doesn't have to be a lover. You've been spending a lot of time reflecting on your inner child and how you got in here. Um, you may have experienced struggles when it comes to like your car, love, trying to get back on top. You could have recently gotten a divorce, and you may be wanting this person back, but they don't want you back. Um, Something about the proof. Okay. You may be struggling with some car issues, mutable signs. Let's hear for the mutable signs. There's a new life coming. You know this. You can feel it in your bones. There's a new life on the horizon for you. You know deep down that you're going to be blessed. And while your community is being shooken up now, and you may be wondering why, you do understand that there's going to be a new sense of community coming in for you. You have the No Place Like Home card came out in reverse. the round and round came out in reverse. To be fair came out reversed. And between worlds came out reversed. Regeneration. Right now, you know that you're blessed. Right now, you know that your new life is going to be blessed. You just know this deep down, right? But you can't physically see it in the 3D, and you're struggling to trust it between the ethers and the 3D world. You have TikTok at the top of the deck, Treasure Island, and all that glitters. So everything that you've always wanted will be there. It's going to come in divine alignment. It's not always going to be when you want it. So you need to work on focusing on the here and now and being present with whom you are and what you're desiring to have for yourself, and not to have this feeling, this energy of, oh my gosh, I'm running out of time. Underwater gardens. Nurture the garden of your heart, cultivating seeds of compassion, gratitude, and forgiveness. Lady of the Sea. Embrace gratitude as the key to abundance and joy in your life. And the last card, Crystal Caverns. Flow with the rhythms of life and let the cascading waters of change carry you to new beginnings. Bottom of the deck, energy with this is the underwater nautical deck that I'm using for the advice. And the bottom of the deck advice is Ocean Goddess. Embrace your inner creativity and flexibility, navigating life's twists and turns with ingenuity. So in other words, just go with the flow. Try not to put too much stress on it. Be aware of the people in your life that do not hold the same frequency as you. Hold them where they're at, but try not to overfill your cup with their love, especially if their love isn't the love that you're seeking. Why would you want to even allow any of that in your cup? I'm thinking of it more of like a beverage. So I have a cup of, say, water. That's what came to mind. So I have a cup of water, and then somebody's trying to pour in wine, but bro, I don't really like wine. Why would I let them pour in something I don't really want any parts of? 1212 was on the timer. So be sure that you're being authentic to yourself at all areas of life, and you're using discernment to prevent yourself from getting the wool pulled over your eyes. I'm still very much focused on the wolf in sheep's clothing card. It's going to be very, very important that you keep things open. I hope this reading found you well, and I hope to see you back around here on Mobile Therapist. Peace, love, and many blessings to you and yours. Hello, fixed sign. Welcome back to Mo the Therapist. This is your girl Mo, and I'm back with a monthly set. I was gonna say weekly, and I'm taking a break on that right now. So we're gonna do monthly. Um, right now I'm cleaning up my space and I'm getting prepared to do your reading. I hope you guys have been having a wonderful, wonderful month of October so far. I hope this reading brings clarity wherever you are in your journey. And I hope you can find peace, love, and appreciation for the path you are living now. 44 was on the timer. Now, my intention for this reading was for it to be an extension to the threads, assuming you found threads first. If you did not, that is okay. Make sure you follow me on Thread and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so already. Make sure you like this video and share it on platforms you feel you have people that are interested in what I have to say. Now, when I say this reading is going to be for fixed signs, I do mean if you're a Taurus, if you are a Scorpio, a Leo, or an Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, I haven't said North Node, but if North Node is something that resonates with you and that's something that you find a lot of growth and healing in, then this reading is for your North Node then. All right. So this is going to tell me what you're working on in the month of October. We have Judgment, the Five of Swords, the Emperor, the Three of Swords. Any more cards for the six signs? And the Five of Wands. And the Five of Cups reversed at the bottom. So the only five we don't have is the Five of Pentacles. So there is a lot of changes. You could be foreseeing some of these changes, and some of these changes may be quite sudden. Some of these changes might cause burden, frustration, disagreement, quarrel, heartbreak, and dysfunction. Is the Emperor energy the corner? Is this Emperor energy the corner? So this Emperor energy is you, clarified by the Ace of Cups. You are taking charge of your emotions. You're taking charge of the direction or the places you put your energy at. You're doing this in a way that's calm, cool, and collected. So while you may have fire in your chart in other areas, the King of Wands here being in reverse is telling me that you're keeping it calm, you're keeping it cool, you're keeping it collected. You're trying not to take too much control of the situation. You're trying to let some things play out in a way that's going to be beneficial for all that are involved. However, you are also wanting a resolution that's going to be well suited. You're trying to play it smart. There's some of you in this collective that is trying to play it smart, like moving out of envy towards others, or have people in your circle that are moving like this towards you. However, with this Knight of Pentacles, and I feel like it's representing you, you're pointing towards the Four of Pentacles. And this is telling me, while you seem tranquil and calm on the outside, inside you're very, you're holding something that could be pretty envious or could cause more heartbreak and jealousy. This could be connected to uh, a romantic situation with the Three of Cups. And it forced you to have to make a choice. And it could have been a choice that you didn't really want to make, but it's a choice that empowered you. And it empowered you to release the betrayals and move forward in healing. It empowered you to find it empowers you to find the healing relationships and even just a marriage or a friendship that just has this commonality of harmony between the two of you. And this is something I'm seeing for, this is energy coming to you. So it's not energy that has happened yet. This is energy that is coming towards you. And in this energy coming towards you, you have some financial fulfillment, a lot of healing, and really putting yourself back out there. So while you've been through war and you've been through battle, you're not letting the hardships keep you down. You're putting your boots back on. You're zipping up your jacket, pulling your boots up by the straps, hopping back on your horse and going back on a ride despite a broken bone and a few minor scrapes and bruises, right? You're not letting things hold you back. You realize you have multiple tools, multiple wands that can get you from one place to another, and you're really utilizing this to the best of your advantage from here on out. Pesky cat. Like chewing on plastics and probably all the literal things that are terrible for him. Any more messages from the Stranger Things deck? Any messages? We have the Knight of Dice, Five of Dice reverse, the Three of messages in here. Okay. And Judgment is out again in the Stranger Things deck. And it's actually at the bottom. So again, it's your overall energy here. The overall energy is that you are, and it's you. It's not necessarily everybody else around you or God or the divine, unless you know you're like gonna be passing soon. And that might be a little different. But it's you judging the past cycles of your life. It's you evaluating. It's you learning and considering the choices you have made before and how it's gotten you to where you are today. You're considering that maybe the choices I made is why I'm here. And I don't like why I'm here. I don't like what I'm doing here. And I really want the harmoniousness. I really want the friendship dynamic. I really want the financial stability and the feeling of healedness. And while these are things that ring true to you, Spirit is still telling you with the Stranger Things deck that you have some things you need to work on. Now, I'm going to tell you it's interesting that in the last group, I was talking to them about how the dice cards and the spokes cards really have me for a loop, because the dice cards in Stranger Things are swords and the spokes cards are cups. And if I'm going to be honest, I would have flipped it around. Because when we're playing games and stuff, that's full of emotion. That's full of excitement. So I would have done dice as cups, and the king of spokes would be the king of swords in connection to the original tarot. So that's how I'm going to be reading this deck. I won't be reading it how the book says. I know it's their guidebook, but like I tell you, I'm an intuitive reader, and I'm not picking up on this is cup energy. It's giving me air energy. And with that, you are needing to take control of your feelings, but in a healthy way. You're needing to look at things for what they are and say it, communicate it. You don't need to be rude or anything like that. There is a sense of heartbreak. There's a double heartbreak here, but there is healing on the other side, but it's going to take work. It's not something that's going to be done overnight. This is going to be something that's going to take a lot of reflection and a lot of willingness on your part to be open to. You're going to need to spend a lot of time alone. This actually, the Hermit card in the Stranger Things deck depicts 11 and those submergent chambers where she's like under the water and she's utilizing her powers under there. And then you have the Eight of Dice, which originally is connected to the Eight of Swords. But I'm going to read it to you both ways. Because then the Eight of Cups would also depict like a detachment and a walking away from something, like the Eight of Swords depicts. But one depicts it more of like, I'm no longer feeling trapped, and the other one is like, I am now emotionally free. So one was more of a mental chamber, and the other one was more of a chamber of the heart. But being paired with the Hermit, you may be going through both. You may be just looking at both of them in that way. You could be learning something new as well, or trying to go on a new journey of study. And this could just be simply studying yourself in a way that you haven't really looked at yourself before. And one of the cards, so the Six of Swords from the Britt's Third Eye Tarot, was mixed up in another deck, and I pulled it out in the reverse. So you could just be really feeling very unsuccessful at a lot of things in life and feeling like you've been left out. Like God doesn't love you. God's given you a lot of troubles, like things that have to do with sexual partners and such, even romantic relationships. Like you may have found out your partner was cheating on you because of the fact you kept getting an STD or a yeast infection or something like that. You may have had to file bankruptcy due to dirty offers or due to people not being straight up with you. They were impersonating somebody or something. Um, you've been slowing down on how much you're putting out there. You're no longer looking at things like I want to marry for money, or people are no longer looking at you like they want to marry you for money. This could have been karmic friends, not necessarily wanting to marry you, but be your friend because of the money that you have. And then you have moving and moving on. So while one of you is moving forward and moving on from what was, somebody else is holding on to what could have been. A stalker. You're no longer holding grudges. So bankruptcy came out, and fake flexing is out as well. 1414 on that timer there. Spirit is saying if they come back to you, do not take it off the shelf. Leave it where it is. It's their loss, your gain, move on. They have had you hooked once before, but you've recognized that you've released the hook from yourself. You may not be hustling hard right now, but you're getting to a place where you can. You could be a bit broken, a bit heartbroken from the circumstances, especially if it was a friend group. I was drawn back to this karmic friends card, so if it was a friend group, you could have definitely felt very blindsided, betrayed by them. Neptune's Alice. Let the currents of divine guidance lead you to your true purpose. Trust the waves, trust the flows. Lost civilization, find inspiration in collective vision, and let the synergy of community guide your path. Confront the shadows within and let the alchemy of your soul transform darkness into light. That was the Sea Witch's lair. Okay. I only took 3 cards, but with the other piles, other groups, but I'm taking 5 with you. And then the bottom of the deck card. Which, okay, so this is total side note. If you are currently seeking a girlfriend, and I mean like you're a female looking for another female, if you're currently seeking a girlfriend, that could happen in the month of October through December. And I'm only saying that because the mermaid magic definitely gave me the vibe that these two ladies are really digging each other. So I will make sure that picture is top and center for you to look at. So that card says, embrace the magic within and let your intuition guide you through life's currents. I said trusted. Go with the flow of life. Try not to over control things, especially if there are things that are completely out of your control. You have ancient temple. Seek strength in your past and let the echoes of history guide you towards the future. And then trident. Remember, the true strength comes from within. And that's where that hermit energy is coming into importance. Again, if you know all the weaknesses and all the pains and sorrows that you have suffered in your life from birth to insert whatever age you are now, okay? If you know that, if you see that, if you're raw with yourself about that, if you cry about it, if you laugh about it, if you scream about it and pout about it, if you do all the things about it, when somebody brings it up in front of everybody or to somebody, they can't trigger you because you've acknowledged that. And while that's something I myself personally still working on, I can tell you though that the more I acknowledge the things that I don't like or things that have bothered me or things that I don't want to experience again, and I sit with it and deal with it and work through it, the more I realize it's just nobody can do anything to me. Because I've already sat with that. They can't trigger me about that because I've already dealt with that. Yeah, but they feel this way. Okay, they feel that way. They don't know me. They don't live with me. They don't be in my life. They don't be in my brain. And I know some of these things are easier said than done, but I can tell you right now, 6 signs. This is going to be a beautiful energy if you can release the pains and sorrows from the past. And I can't help but to recognize that the Devil card is peeking out from underneath the Britt's Third Eye Tarot. So it would be on the top of the deck. In other words, if you don't acknowledge these things now, the devil is going to rear its ugly head in the future. Probably in December when things are supposed to be getting good. So if you don't want it to rear its other ugly head, then make sure you get ahead of it by focusing and sitting in it, because you're not shining your light. You're not doing the things God has called you to earth to do. And you can do that by pulling yourself out of this funk. And now I'm envisioning somebody that I've just pulled out of a big puddle of motor oil, and it's just so thick and gunky, all gummy and grimy on them, and it's gonna take them forever to get all that off, several washes, several sit in with that energy washes. But it's okay because it's eventually gonna come off. It's gonna come off, and when it comes off, it's gonna feel so good. Your skin's gonna feel so good. All right, 6 signs. That's what I have for you. I hope. Oh wait, I forgot to pull from the deck. Okay, that's not all I have for you. Hold on one more. Soulmate. Breathe, imagine soulmate. Mending by the book. Things are getting beautiful for you. Exchanging gifts, a message in the bottle, co-create. This is something you've been asking for from God. You've been asking for this from God, and you may not be trusting that this new life is coming for you, but it is. Continue healing, continue mending, and your numbers are 7, 6, 10, 11, 11, 11, and 9. You guys could be a Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. It just depends what placement you're listening for at the time. And exchanging of gifts is still at the bottom. Okay. So now that has been your reading. Thank you, Taurus. Thank you, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Leo for joining me here today. If this resonated and you would like to exchange the energy with a tip, that information will be down below. If you can't do that, understood, but subscribing is free. So is sharing and liking this video, and so is commenting. If you comment, that also boosts this video. This will provide me the opportunity to have another stream of income, and it would be greatly appreciated if you could be a part of that journey, because I love, love, love to share things with others. I love to teach people new things as I love to learn new things. So if you guys follow along, it gives me a reason to keep expanding. I mean, I already had that reason, but I was getting bored expanding and not having enough people to share it with. So here I am trying to share it. Are you engaging? Are you showing up? And don't forget to follow me on Threads and Instagram. Peace, love, and many blessings to you and yours.